How about the horses of Achilles?
No good. Nobody does westerns anymore.
It's ancient Troy.
If it's got horses in it, it's a western.
Yeah, Kenny, please? Yeah, it's John Chambers about the Office Space. It doesn't matter. It's a fake movie.
If I'm doing a fake movie, it's going to be a fake hit.
Hey, is A006 still on the open list? Yeah, I'll hold.
Fade in on a starship landing, an exotic Middle Eastern vibe. Women gather offering ecstatic libations to the sky gods. Argo, science fantasy adventure.
It's in turnaround.
Can we get the option?
Why do we need the option?
You're worried about the Ayatollah? Try the WGA.
Hi, I'm Dave Bjerkren, Managing Editor of the News of Delaware County, and welcome to a very special fall foliage edition of Take Two.
And I'm Martha Ryan, Special Correspondent to the News. And that was a scene from Argo, which opened up in movie theaters this past weekend. It's based on true events that happened back in 1979 during the Iranian hostage crisis, when 6 embassy workers escaped from the embassy and were hiding out in the home of the Canadian ambassador, and were there for 79 days until they were smuggled out of the country while posing as a Canadian film crew scouting locations for a fictional science fiction film called Argo. The film was directed by and stars Ben Affleck as the real-life CIA agent, Tony Mendez, who hatched the whole rescue plan, along with real-life Hollywood makeup man John Chambers, played by John Goodman. It's a tension-filled film with great moments of comedy, and it may just be one of the best movies of the year.
So far, I think I'd probably agree with that. Yeah, pretty seamless. It takes comedy, it takes political intrigue. There's elements of espionage, adventure. Melds it all together and makes it work.
Yeah. I was a little worried at first when you have this great opening that really shows you, the attack on the embassy and how kinetic it was, how chaotic it was, how terrifying it really was.
Well, that's one of the things I liked, was that you almost instantly got into the heads of the workers in the embassy and what they were going through and the anxiety that they were feeling.
And then when it cuts to the Hollywood angle of it, it gets very silly and very humorous. And at first it's a little jarring, but then I thought Ben Affleck, the director and the screenwriter, do a really nice job of reminding you of just how dangerous this whole thing was. And they do it in a great moment where they have this sort of phony reading of the script, public reading of the script at the Beverly Hills Hilton, where they invite the press, and it's very silly, but at the same time he's juxtaposing that with the hostage takers at the embassy sort of psychologically torturing the hostages by making it look like they're going to assassinate them.
Right.
And so
with the fake firing squad.
Fake firing squad, and so the tension, they never allow the audience to let down its guard.
I think also to keep in mind too, the people that were making this fake movie never lost sight of why they were doing it.
Right.
And I think that was important too.
Sure.
They knew this was the lives were at stake.
Oh, yeah. And great cast all around.
Yeah, terrific.
Affleck sort of almost takes a back seat to some of the supporting characters. John Goodman, as we said, as John Chambers, very funny, along with Alan Arkin, who plays, he's not a real-life character, but he's sort of a conglomeration of every Hollywood producer that there ever was. Very riotously funny.
And I don't want to take away from the people that played the 6
hostages,
because to me they carried the weight of the film, because while all this intrigue is going on around them, these are real people trying to deal with a situation that was life and death, and they had to put their total trust in these outrageous
on the whole, this idea of disguising themselves as a phony Hollywood movie crew. If it wasn't true, people would just find this hard to believe.
Right.
But it turns out it was true. At the time, back in 1979, after they were released, Canada got all the credit for it.
Right.
Because America couldn't take credit. The CIA couldn't take credit because there were still 59 hostages being held over in Iran. The news didn't come out for about 28 years later.
Right. It was under Clinton that it got declassified.
And you learned about this. You definitely want to stick through the entire ending credits. They do a nice job at summing up the aftermath of the operation. There's a little bit of a surprise, so you don't want to walk out with the rest of the audience as well.
Right. The other thing I would say, that if there's anything against the film, and it's a small point, but they even claim it in the production notes that they had to exaggerate or in order to embellish, in order to create the tension.
With the final sequences.
So toward the end, there is a, to me it was almost an obligatory Hollywood chase scene.
Yeah,
which,
and all of that was done because I believe the filmmakers said that they couldn't visualize the tension that these 6 house guests, as they were called, were under in going through the airport in Tehran without embellishing it with, the typical Hollywood cliches.
Okay, I got
all these roadblocks.
I have a little problem with.
No, I understand that too.
I mean, I love, not without giving anything away, but I did love the scene with them and the Revolutionary Guard in the room when they were, at one point they're taken aside and you're like, what the hell's going to happen to them? But then,
you can tell when you're watching it what probably didn't happen, what did happen.
Right.
That being said, it's a wonderful entertainment based on real events, and again, it is really one of the best films of the year so far.
Yeah, I would agree with that. So, hey.
So be sure to read our full reviews online at delconewsnetwork.com.
See you at the movies.
That'll have to work because I'm running out of time.